Standing here with launders, CSGO caster, CSGO expert, YouTuber, and pizza lover. Did I miss anything?
That's about it. Maybe Movin' lover. I do love movements.
We are here in Royal Arena for Blast Premier Fall final. Are you enjoying so far?
Yeah, last year we came here and then this was kind of our major last time we watched the major, and we're like, oh, we're going to get ready for the fall final. And the Royal Arena is such a beautiful arena. It's such an iconic stage they have here at Blast with the team intros. So we're very much in the mood now.
Cool. Let's dive into it because I want to talk a bit about CSGO with you. How do you see the current state of professional CSGO in terms of the meta tendencies and how the game is being played?
Right now, I think we saw at the Rio Major, I was a bit concerned about the Balance and Nerfs and how strong some of the CT sides were. But I think we saw that some of the top teams like Mouse Sports at the Major, Outsiders, some of the teams here have really got their T sides together and are kind of beating out the advantages of some of the M4s. And now we have the Nerf as well. So I'm really looking forward to the next few months where we get more teams getting better at T sides and expecting 8-9 rounds on some of the T sides on certain maps. And for a long time, it's always been a very CT-sided meta, so I think we've got a change coming.
Yeah, because you said it yourself about this unbalanced between the T side and the CT side. How big of a problem was this before this?
Yeah, it was certain maps. I think Ancient, Nuke, and Overpass, especially where the CT side advantages were too great. And I think again, people are getting better on T sides. Even Liquid here have improved quite a bit. So they've taken it upon themselves to work extra hard to make up for those disadvantages, and I think that with the nerfs coming in, it's going to change it a lot. I think especially maps like Overpass, where it was like your AWP and rifle on the A side dominated the whole map with those two guys, and now they're going to be a lot weaker with the 5 bullets in the AWP and less powerful long distance M4 shots.
Besides this, are there some specific new and fresh tactical aspects you have noticed lately?
Yeah, I think in general it's just way better T sides. I don't think that there's so many new things that have come into the meta that I've really noticed with teams that have been playing. It's just that it feels like everybody's been really practicing a lot. They're dry running and the spacing, especially with Mouse Sports and Liquid, I've been so impressed with, and it just feels like it's how they should have always been, but for some reason I think teams have been talking about T sides a little bit less, and that's starting to change.
You are a guy who wants to go down deep in detail with your demos on YouTube and all that. What is the most exciting team to watch play CSGO right now?
That's a great question. I think definitely the most interesting team for me is Na'Vi. I think that people argue they have the most talent on the team, but honestly, outside of Simple, everyone is kind of inconsistent. But I think the team is still always a tournament threat, and that's actually because they can come back into any game. And I think thematically, when you watch them play a T side, you can understand how they're building out a story as the T half goes on. And there's only maybe 2 other teams that can do that. Vitality on a good day and FaZe more usually, but Na'Vi always are able to figure out what goes wrong, how to get back into a match, and then fix it by slowing the rounds down and then building back into the game. And I think that's a very special quality. So for watching them play in demos is the most interesting for me.
Twist said in an early interview with us that the skill gap between Tier 1 and Tier 2 players is gone in terms of aim and the mechanics. What is your take on this?
I think if you look at someone like Fame, for example, who's the #1 player in Europe in FACEIT and hasn't been playing that long, but has just now picked up a major win, he's proof that people can get good very fast these days, and you can do a lot of the individual work on your own for a couple of years and then get an IGL like James and really catch up to even the Tier 1 teams within a short period of time. So I do feel like the gap has closed dramatically, and there are so many resources to get better, as well as so many great players that are floating around in the Tier 2 level that can teach the younger players, which is something that we never really had before. So I agree. I think the gap is closed. I think we want to believe there's some order to who the best teams are and how they'll win more often, but that's starting to change.
Do you like this new reality where the lower tier and upcoming players are closer to the elite?
I personally don't. I really do like dominance a lot, and I think like during the Astralis era, it was really cool to see teams scramble to become as good as Astralis and to make roster moves and everything like that. Whereas right now, I feel like it's kind of confusing for teams. They can lose to almost anybody, and so whether or not they need to make a roster move is up for debate, and I don't know if you can actually make the right decision. It feels like we don't know if there will be another era, but I really do feel like in sports and especially in Counter-Strike, eras have defined the metas, and they've also defined how all the teams look. And I think right now the top 20 is so close that it's hard to say what the prevalent style even is.